Thomas is a tank engine who lives at a big station on the island of Sodor. He's a cheeky little engine with 6 small wheels, a short stumpy funnel, a short stumpy boiler, and a short stumpy dome. He's a fussy little engine too, always pulling coaches about ready for the big engines to take on long journeys. And when trains come in, he pulls the empty coaches away so that the big engines can go and rest. Thomas thinks no engine works as hard as he does. He loves playing tricks on them, including Gordon, the biggest and proudest engine of all. Thomas likes whistling rudely at him. "Wake up, lazy bones! Why don't you work hard like me?" One day after pulling the big express, Gordon had arrived back at the sidings very tired. He was just going to sleep when Thomas came up in his cheeky way. "Wake up, lazy bones! Do some hard work for a change! You can't catch me!" And off he ran, laughing. Instead of going to sleep again, Gordon thought how he could get back at Thomas. One morning, Thomas wouldn't wake up. His driver and fireman couldn't make him start. His fire went out and there was not enough steam. It was nearly time for the express. People were waiting, but the coaches weren't ready. At last, Thomas started. "Oh dear, oh dear," he yawned. He fussed into the station where Gordon was waiting. "Hurry up, you," said Gordon. "Hurry yourself," replied Thomas. Gordon began making his plan. "Yes," said Gordon, "I will," and almost before the coaches had stopped moving, Gordon reversed quickly and was coupled to the train. "Get in quickly, please," he whistled. Thomas usually pushed behind the big trains to help them start, but he was always uncoupled first. This time, Gordon started so quickly they forgot to uncouple Thomas. Gordon's chance had come. At last they stopped at a station. Thomas was uncoupled, feeling very silly and exhausted. Next, he went onto a turntable, thinking of everyone laughing at him. And then he ran onto a siding out of the way. "Well, little Thomas," chuckled Gordon, "now you know what hard work means, don't you?" Poor Thomas couldn't answer. He had no breath. He just puffed slowly away to rest, and had a long drink. He went home very slowly, and was careful afterwards never to be cheeky to Gordon again.
Gordon was complaining. This was making James cross.
Why are you complaining all the time? Because I'm a big blue engine. No.
Are you done speaking, or?
That you are, after all, a small, insignificant red engine.
Hang on a minute. What has my size got to do with any of this? You know, you're pretty bold saying that when you should be worried about the fact that you can't even fit on the fucking turntable. Shut up, bruv. I was expecting a good morning, but whatever. I'm not even in shorts or I can.
I can't see any ideas.
What the
fuck are you on about?
Hey, yo, we can talk.
Ideas above the station. The sky's
Oh
empty.
my good God, Percy, you are the most unbearably dipshit individual I have ever met. How can you be this fucking stupid? Does the 6 on your side stands for 6 fucking brain cells? Or the fucking 3 landmines you have? Do you have 3? Do you have 6? I don't know how many brain cells you have. You're just stupid. Oh my God, you can't even beat this comic. This is genius levels of stupidity, little Percy. The sky's empty. It was a figure of speech. I wasn't even saying that today. I said that about a week ago. Oh my God, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go pull the express or whatever the fat controller wants me to do today. Right, we're gonna go do that, and yeah, fuck you, little Percy. Percy, I swear to fucking God.
Edward is one of the oldest engines on the island of Sodor. He loves helping others, being a really useful engine. However, the big engines on the railway disliked him and thought he was too old-fashioned. Edward is just some old iron that needs to be put in a museum.
Edward is a waste of steam.
All he does is clink about the olden days. Hearing insults about his best friend on the island upset Thomas, so he spoke up.
I'll have you know that Edward is the most useful engine of this railway,
said Thomas. Thank you, Thomas, replied Edward. As for you three, I'm disappointed. I'll definitely forward this to the Fat Controller tomorrow. You right.
You see, Edward, this is why we don't like you.
Exactly. Get out the big engine's businesses, exclaimed the big engines. Edward rolled his eyes and backed into his shed to take a long rest. The next day, the Fat Controller arrived. Henry Gordon James, I'm very disappointed you three. You have to stay in the shed for the rest of the day.
No, sir. Please, sir. I regret my actions.
Said Henry sadly.
Who would take my express?
And who'll take my important goods train? By the way, the Fat Controller tells James all his goods trains are important, so he does his work, because James hates unimportant goods trains. Percy will pull James's goods train, and Edward shall pull the express.
Edward?
Shouted the big engines. Really, sir? Thank you, sir.
But Edward isn't fast enough to pull the express.
Exclaimed Gordon.
Gordon, I think sometimes you forget that Edward was an express engine at one point.
Wait, I'm an important goods train? Oh boy.
The big engines sadly backed into their berths.
Do you really think you can do it, Edward?
Well, it will be hard, but I think I can do it. And so, Edward puffed off to collect the express coaches. Once Edward got to the platform, the coaches and the passengers were surprised to see Edward at the platform.
What's Edward doing here?
Said one of the passengers.
He's too small.
Don't be engine-cist, you guys.
Said an engine's rights activist. Well, there's no engine available. I figured that you folks need an engine to take you to your destinations. And so, the guy blew his whistle, Edward set off on the slowest express train in years. Hurry, 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 said Edward, acting like Gordon. Eventually, Edward had made it to Gordon's Hill. He was nervous because he knew going up Gordon's Hill, the express was going to be difficult. But Edward had experienced going up Gordon's Hill with heavy loads before. I can do it. Edward started chuffing up the hill. I can do it. I will do it. And at last, Edward had made it to the top of the hill. Beep, beep, whistled Edward. Edward rushed down the hill at speeds he hadn't puffed at in a long time. I've done it! Eventually, Edward had made it to Bronx Station. That night, Edward told everyone at Tim's Sheds his story. I may have doubted myself at times, but deep down, I knew I had what it takes to pull the express one final time. After hearing his story, Bacons felt bad and apologized to Edward.
Edward, I'm sorry for the way I treated you last night.
Us too, said the bigger engines. It's alright, 3. I know you guys are just feeling a big headed. They all fell asleep in the shed, waiting for another glorious day of work.
Well, Gordon, you better get your stone trucks coming down from the quarry. They'll be heavy.
The express is overbooked. Today they got one more coach, Henry.
I'll be fine. Those troublesome trucks will be nice. I'm sure.
Well, this is gonna suck.
Have a good day, Henry.
You too, Thomas. Well, see you later.